What's up, YouTube? I'm Guy, and this is the JustBlueFish Watch Reviews channel. And yeah, it has been a minute since I've posted a new video. So I wanted to give you guys a little update on what's been going on here with me and answer some of the questions that I've gotten from you guys over the last several weeks and honestly several months. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So first and foremost, have I quit YouTube? Where have I been and when am I coming back? I have gotten that question a lot, and let me say that I do really appreciate that so many of you guys have asked about me, you've asked about how I'm doing and when I will be back to making videos. Well, the short version of that is that ultimately, I guess I just needed a little bit of a break from doing these videos. Now, I didn't anticipate that it would be for so long. I was thinking maybe I'd take off a month, maybe two, but it ended up being much longer. It is what it is, and as far as when I'm going to be back to doing videos full time, hopefully I'll start picking up the pace and doing regular videos again, starting with this one right now today. Now, the next big question that I've had come my way is, what do I think about the new ROLEX Submariner? And I haven't made any videos since Rolex did the new release announcements, and a lot of you guys wanted to know what my thoughts were on that one. Well, I'm going to reserve most of my judgment for it if and when I get a chance to see one in person. But my initial knee-jerk reaction was that I was a little bit disappointed that they scaled up the watch to 41 millimeters. Now, yeah, I'm sure in practice with the new profile of the case, it won't really matter. But there's something about my particular brand of OCD and a tendency towards liking to keep things traditional that just bothers me about it a little bit. The Submariner has been 40 millimeters for so long that I'd have just preferred that they stayed with the 60 years of tradition and figured out a way to reprofile the new model without changing the actual size specifications. But like I said, it probably doesn't really matter. It's a little thing, and I'm sure that when I do see the watch, I'm going to like it. Now, with that said, I'm not rushing out and doing anything possible to try to replace my Submariner with the latest model. Now, here's an Instagram message that I got a little while back, and I'm sorry for only now just addressing it. Jaden says that his father is a big fan of my videos and that his birthday is coming up and that he was wondering if I'd give his father, Jack, a shout out. Well, I'm sorry if I missed it, but happy birthday, Jack. I hope you had a great one, and thank you for watching the channel. I wish you all the best. I've got a few questions from the JustBlueFish Facebook group that I thought I'd go ahead and hit on in this video as well. And first up is one from Anthony, who asks about the resurgence of brands like TAG Heuer and Longines. I'm not sure about TAG as much, but I have seen Longines do some really good things in the recent past. I think most of the brands under the Swatch group do some things really well, and they have more than a few watches that I like. In the case of Longines, the flagship Heritage in particular is one that I have been a really big fan of since its release. The Spirit line with a COSC certified chronometer grade movement is another one that I think it really looks interesting. So yeah, I like the brand. David asks, why do people wear bracelets and beads alongside their watches? He's not judging, he just wants to know. And yeah, I can't answer that one. I don't do it. Seems like a good way to probably get extra wear and tear on the finish of your watch, but I guess to each their own. So Scott asks, he can't figure out why Seiko has been raising their prices, and not by a little bit, but by a lot, like $300 to $500, or $400 to $750 on the Alpinist. So this is something that I have been talking about for years, literally. Go back into my video library and you're going to find several videos where I discuss this. As to why they've been doing it, I guess the short answer is because they can, because people will pay it. Do I think that most of these new watches are worth it? No, not really. Some would argue that they were undervalued before, and I'd argue that they're overvalued today. That said, I do like a lot of the watches that they've put out, but I wouldn't buy most of them, if I'm being honest. I used to be, I think, pretty easily persuaded into being a Seiko collector. But at these prices, I'd say, pick your favorite one and buy just that one, and then start looking at other brands. But, that's just my opinion. AJ asks, what are my thoughts on watches with hardened cases? And yeah, I don't know. No thoughts really, I guess. So Mike asks, with their new in-house movement, how high can Oris go? Can they compete with Omega and Tudor? And in terms of quality, sure, I think they can. But when we talk about competing, what I think we mean is, can they reach the same level of prestige? And will they be considered as an equal to those brands? Maybe, but I think it'll take a lot more than just some good new watches. Brand perception has more to do with how they market the brand and how well they promote the watches. And even though they make great watches, they are relatively unknown outside of the watch enthusiast community. I think that they have probably a ways to go before they can build the cachet that you're talking about. And let's be honest, that's a good thing for us collectors, because once they do, those prices are going to go way up. So Steven says, given Seiko's raising prices and Oris with their new watches with higher prices, who has a better strategy to move up market, and how do I feel about brands moving up market? So first, Seiko has a better strategy. Just because they do more marketing, they make more watches, and they have started with a more well-known brand. Now, how do I feel about brands moving up market? I'm fine with it if they provide more for the money. I don't want to just pay higher prices because the brand is more popular. And at least with Oris, I think we seem to be getting a better product for the money. Seiko hasn't really done a lot to improve the product, they've just mostly increased the price. Nick and Nathan asked a couple of questions about watches that I'm not super familiar with. Nick, regarding a question about affordable, high beat movements like the Merkur mechanical chrono with a seagull movement, all I can say is that I've heard good things about that movement, but I really don't know much beyond that. Now, Nathan, regarding Gekota, they do have some nice designs, but here's the thing. Micro brands kind of make me a little bit nervous. I've seen a lot of people have problems with micro brand watches, and they get no after sales warranty, service, or support from the brand. So I think you should probably treat micro brand watches as a bit of a gamble unless they have a great reputation. And before we go, I wanted to share some of the most amazing watch porn that I have ever seen. If you guys aren't familiar with him yet, go check out Ink Dial on Instagram. He does some of the most amazing horology-based artwork that I've ever seen, like this Casio with a DeLorean picture. I love that a lot of his images incorporate both a watch and something else in pop culture that's related to the watch, like this Bucherer watch with a Mustang from the movie John Wick, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. And of course, this Rolex GMT Master 2 with a great depiction of Batman that's in a style very reminiscent to the great Batman artist Jim Aparo. Now, Ink Dial has a website where you can buy a lot of these prints, some original artwork, and even get commissions. And no, I'm not being sponsored or promoted to share this with you guys. I just came across his work and I thought it really deserved to get shared. So go check him out. All right, guys, well, that will do it for today. As always, thank you for tuning in and checking out the video. Thanks for all of the questions and messages over the last few months that I have been away from YouTube. I really appreciate that. Check out the description below for links to my social media, Patreon, Amazon affiliate links, and anything else if you'd like to help me out and support the channel. With that said, I'm going to go ahead, wrap this one up for today, and say bye now.